This is the Mosen Mortgage Program with Sarah Mosen. Mosen Mortgage is licensed in several states for residential and commercial purchases and refinancing. Call 800-662-9550. And now, here's your host, Sarah Mosen.
Happy Monday, folks. It's great to be back here again. And as I say, ask the question, keep the calls coming. Today is a brand new day with no mistakes, and I'm so excited to have my good friend GlenMeakem here. Glenn, how are you today?
I'm terrific, Sarah. Great to be here with you.
It's been so many years we have actually known each other, and
Yes.
I have to thank you. I'm so grateful for introducing me to radio.
That's right. I got you on the radio, Sarah.
You are the reason I'm here, and it's been like 8 years. I mean, we
Yeah.
started. You actually were kind enough. We met by chance over the fact that we wanted to give you the CEO Awards award that was coming up with the CEO South Point.
And you were this fabulous entrepreneur and wonderful person, and you had this great voice. And I said, you should be on the radio with me because I was doing my radio show.
Which you still have, and it's
Yes.
a terrific show, 104.7 in Pittsburgh, PA.
Yeah.
But outside of that, there's so much that you've done.
And people can listen. Your listeners, I think many of your listeners are outside my listening audience. I've got 16 different stations now.
Mm-hmm.
But you can always go to GlenMeakem.com. It's
Right.
GlenMeakem.com. And I own all the misspellings. So just go to Google
Right.
GlenMeakem. Just Google GlenMeakem. You'll get the radio show. And you can get podcasts. You can listen live streaming. You can listen pretty much anytime. So just go to GlenMeakem.com and you can hear my radio show.
Well, I've always said you're fascinating. You're a doer. You've done great things. You're a very successful entrepreneur. You have a great track record. You're a venture capitalist. You created free markets in the 1990s. And there's so much more. So please share, because our listeners have been dying to hear from you.
Well, I appreciate that. It's humbling. I have been very fortunate. I'm, as you know, I'm a churchgoer. I'm a Christian. I feel very blessed with both the abilities God gave me and the opportunities He's given me. And my beautiful family. I've got a wonderful wife, 5 children,
Yeah.
and 2 in college already. So I feel very blessed. But I did have, I've had a long career at this point. I'm in my late 40s now. I used to say I was in my mid 40s. Now I'm in my late 40s. But I've had a long career, and I was fortunate. I was in college up in Boston. Went to Harvard. I served in the military. I was in the first Gulf War. I had various business experience. I had the great opportunity to start a company called Free Markets in the mid 90s, which was a B2B, business-to-business e-commerce company.
Mm-hmm.
We automated the purchasing process and the sourcing process for major corporations, helping them find really efficient, good suppliers with our software and our services, and that went really well. I took it public in 1999 and then eventually sold it for a lot of money in 2004. And then you're right, I became a venture capitalist. But all those years, I've had many interests, but I had this other interest, which was preserving family history and preserving legacy. And frankly, it's a very Christian notion, I think, that we have a responsibility to the future, that our conduct today has an impact on many generations going forward. And I've always thought about that. And when I got back from the Gulf War, I served in the Gulf War in 1991. I got back that summer. My wife and I, we were newly married. We took time off,
Right.
and we went around the country and we videotaped our grandparents, both her living grandparents and my living grandparents, and we got them on videotape, asking them about their lives and the family history, etc. And I've always preserved those cassettes, those cassette videotapes. But the problem is when you start to have really valuable information, valuable videotapes, audio files, photographs, documents that are really important to you, that are about the memories, the key memories of your life, the key learnings and memories in your family, about your legacy, about your faith, the things you want to pass on, the things you want to preserve from your past, and the things you want to pass on to your future generations. How do you do that?
Right. Mm-hmm.
And I started thinking about that in recent years, and I found that there was no really good way to do that, because if it's in physical books, it can get lost and flooded and damaged in fires and things. And then on the internet, I looked and looked and looked, and there was no solution for permanent. Not for. There's many photo sharing sites. There's many temporary commodity storage sites. There's backup sites. There's social networking sites. There's all kinds of stuff. But there was no place where somebody credible was going to give me a guarantee that I could pay them some money, and they would keep my key photographs, videos, etc. for a long, long period of time. Like, so my children and grandchildren and great-grandchildren and great-great-grandchildren could search and find the information and see it And so that you could, and so this was the idea. And so I decided we need to start a company that does this, that gives permanent, I call it permanent social storage, the ability to permanently store information on the web in the cloud in a secure, private way, so that the person who puts it there owns it. No one's looking who's not allowed to look, but store it in a permanent, private way, and then also share it. So you can store it but share it. So it's both social, it's cloud storage, but it's also social networking, but then combined with unique new legal contracts and rights. Mm-hmm. It's you post information, it's private, it's yours, you own it. And there's a guarantee. We guarantee that it will be there for a long, long period of time. Hundreds of your lifetime plus 100-year guarantee. So it's unique new legal rights. And then also endowment economics. I mentioned I went to Harvard. Harvard has this massive endowment. Well, I've learned about endowments. Basically, the only way to pay for stuff out way into the future is to put money aside, save it, put it into a diversified investment fund, and have that earn income every year. And then that income can be used to out way into the future to pay for in this case, the storage and the bandwidth. So that's what we've done. The name of the company is Forever. We're at forever.com.
Yes.
We went live this past summer, summer of 2013. And it's doing very, very well. And I would encourage your listeners, if you care about, if you want to communicate, if you want your children and your grandchildren and your great-grandchildren to know the family history, to know what was important to you, to know about your faith, to know about the things you loved, to know about your entrepreneurial passion. Maybe you did really well as an entrepreneur, and now you're going to pass money along to these descendants. Well, maybe you should tell them about the hard work and the values that got you there. And so if you want those memories to be passed on, forever.com is the best way in the world to do that.
I completely agree. I was very excited with, I'm a founding member when you started the launch.
Thank you. Thanks to you and your brother, Zeph.
Absolutely. It was just a no-brainer because firstly, it's secure. It allows you to retain the memories and share that information. And I'll tell you what, there's a lot of history behind each and every one of our lives. So it does relate to, and it's very relatable to folks from all walks of life. It's not just about a particular part of society. And what happens with, and I was a little emotional because of the way you presented it and the story behind it with one of our veterans who was talking about his life. And I'm all about giving back to our servicemen and servicewomen.
One of our initial members, permanent members, one of our founding members is a man named John Snyder. And Jack Snyder, he goes by. But Jack is a veteran, of World War II veteran, greatest generation, 88 years old, still alive, still healthy, God willing. And he's a veteran of Iwo Jima. He landed in the second wave, first day, one of the young Marines, 19-year-old Marines who assaulted the beach at Iwo Jima. He was there. He witnessed the flag. He wasn't one of the flag raisers, but he witnessed the flag raising. And he fought on Iwo Jima for 26 days, one of the only men in his unit who survived. And he was one of our founding members. And we have his story captured at forever.com forever.
I know. Well, Glenn, it was very touching. So for me, watching it was just something that you can't even think twice about. You just want to get involved, make sure you retain that information. And I've always said to our listeners, if you do have additional questions, you can reach me day or night at 1-800-662-9550. Of course, there's forever.com to access more information on this as well.
People can call there too. We just call the toll-free number 1-888-FOREVER.
Okay.
And we have right now that the site is expanding. Every 2 weeks we release more software. It's very easy to use, but it's very photo-centric right now. Early in January we add documents. In April we add video. In the summer we add pure audio files. It's right now Jack Snyder's video is not live on the site where you can see it. It will be there in April.
Right.
But it's the people when people become permanent members of Forever, they're using the wonderful software we have now, but they're also basically becoming a member permanently. And we are dedicated. I think we're a highly credible group of people and organization. We're dedicated to helping people save and share their memories for literally hundreds of years to come.
Well, what is nice about it, I used to be in technology many years ago, but the scalability, the functionality, it's very easy to use. And in fact, you also have the option to send your information so that the technical support team can put it together for you. So
Yes,
that you
yeah.
can
If people, obviously a lot of people, older people and younger people are really swift with their iPhones and their Droids and their various devices, and they can upload all their own stuff. And a lot of people are like that. But there's a lot of us too who have many years of photo albums and old Super 8 films from the 60s and 70s and a lot of media that isn't digitized. And we can actually digitize that and organize that for you as well. And it's it costs some money, but it's reasonably priced. I mean, it's not a ridiculous amount of money.
Well, the fact is that a lot of this stuff gets lost,
Yes.
these important memories. And I know for a fact that when I look back at my family history, it's so diverse. I mean, my grandfather was a farmer. My father went to Tufts University. He got a scholarship. And all of those things put together, you want to be able to share and retain for
your
years.
story. I've had you tell your story on my radio show. You've told I don't know if you told your listeners your whole story, but my goodness, your father was this international diplomat from Bangladesh, I believe.
Yes, he was.
And then you were born in China.
Yes, and my brother was born in Australia. And it is quite, I'm blessed and I'm thankful and I'm grateful. And I want you back here tomorrow, Glenn.
Right. And you're an amazing American entrepreneur. You're an immigrant who has started a business, multiple businesses, and you and your brother are just amazing American entrepreneurs.
Well,
it's just a great story.
I'm grateful and blessed to have great people like you around me as well. So, folks, listen, tune in tomorrow. I'm going to have Glenn Meakem back on Tuesday. And stay well, folks. Take care, Glenn.
Thanks very much, Sarah.
This has been the Mosen Mortgage Program with Sarah Mosen. Mosen Mortgage is licensed in several states for residential and commercial purchases and refinancing. Call 800-662-9550.